Good morning kids, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing great. I am Khushbu Patel from Saraswati Group of Education and today I am conducting this session for the science subject chapter number 3 session 3. What is the chapter's name? It is the skeletal and the muscular system. That means we are studying the two systems of our body. Not in a detail but actually a outline, or you can say only few information we are going to take from this chapter. Now we have completed watching hard words, as well as last time we have also completed till skull, right? We have understood what is bone marrow, what is the main functions of bone, right, and how many bones are there total in our body and how many bones are available in the skull. Till that we have completed. So today we are moving further, but as you all know that we start our session with having a textbook in your hand. So I hope you all are having your textbook, right? And if you don't have, please go and get it. Now in your textbook you have to open page number 34. Now kids, we have completed till skull. I told you last time that the skeletal system is divided into three portions: head portion, chest portion and leg portion. So last time we have completed till skull, that means head portion was over. Now moving further to the next portion, that is the chest area, right? But before we start that chest region, the first thing which we have to see here is the backbone, right? When you talk about the backbone, what is the meaning of it? Karod Rajju, which we say it in Gujarati, right? What is that? It is backbone. Okay. Now, we know that we are able to sit straight, we are able to walk, we are able to stand. Why? Because of bones, right? It gives us a support, or you can say it is a supportive system. Same way, we can bend our back forward and backward. Why it is so? It is happening just because of the backbone, or one thing which is present inside the backbone, which is known as spinal cord. It is known as what? Spinal cord. Right? So let's start learning that. So kids, now see in your textbook. It is also known as the spine. As here in the picture also you can see, I have provided you a spinal cord as well as the backbone, which is also known as vertebral column. There are so many words for the backbone, right? One is given in your textbook that it is also known as spine, right? You have to underline this in your textbook. What is the other name of backbone? That is spine. See. The backbone is made up of 33 bones called vertebrae, right? The way skull were having total 22 bones. Same way, in a backbone or in a spine, there are total 33 bones present. These bones are having a specific name. What is the name of that bones? See in your textbook, it is written with a red color. These bones are considered as vertebra. It is known as what? Vertebra. That means monaka. In Gujarati we say. You may have heard this word from your elder. Right? So, it is total 33. Now, they form a column called vertebral column. Now, this vertebra are having C shape. It is actually not written in your textbook, but I am giving you extra information. This vertebra is having a C shape. All the C shapes are arranged like this, one after another, right? एक के नीचे एक ऐसे joint हुए होते हैं. So they are forming a one cord, or you can say they are forming the entire backbone, right? See here, they form a column called vertebral column, which protects the spinal cord. Now, what is the meaning of a spinal cord? I told you orally, but you have to underline that word and you will write the meaning of it, which is flashing over here. It says a column of a nerve tissue that runs from the base of the skull down to the center of the back That means spinal cord is not only present in the backbone, it is attached with the brain. Why? Because this cord is responsible for carrying the messages from the different organs of the body to the brain. Suppose a mosquito is biting you on a leg. So you will immediately come to know that in this leg, mosquito is biting. How it is so? It is because of the nerves. And one main nerve which is carrying that message to the brain, that cord or that nerve tissue is called as spinal cord. So you will pause the video over here and you will write down the meaning of a spinal cord whether in your textbook or you can also note it down in your classwork. Right? You can see the meaning of that spinal cord over here. Okay? Fine. The vertebral column forms the main axis of the skeleton. Axis of the skeleton, that means it is allowing us to stand straight. It is allowing us to bend. Right? Why? Because it is the main line, main axis. The way you are learning graph or you will learn in the future. X-axis and Y-axis. Right? That is the line. Same way, this spinal cord is forming a one line that we can stretch our body, we can bend our body. Right? See kids, you find that this chapter is a bit hard for you. Yes, it is. It is having a certain words which you have to remember as it does not have any English synonyms. It does not have any English meaning. You have to remember it as it is. Right? Fine. The joints between the two vertebrae have an individual intervertebral disc. I told you that vertebrae are having C shape. Right? They are joined with each other. The disc, that disc is considered as invertebral disc. And that disc is allowing that vertebral column to be flexible. એટલે કે જે ડિસ્ક છે એને હલનચલન માટે ફ્લેક્સિબિલિટી પ્રોવાઇડ કરે છે. Right? See, individual vertebra cannot move. If I want to bend only this much portion, no. The entire cord from 33 bones, if I wish that I just want to bend so that only 10 bones will be bending towards. No. Because they are attached with each other. They are not individual. એકલા કામ ન કરી શકે, right? They have to work together. All 33 vertebrae have to work together. So they cannot work individually. So if I say that I want to bend only this portion, not possible. I just want to bend only this portion, not possible. Clear? Fine. See. But the spine has some flexibility. Although these bones or these vertebrae are not individually working. But spine, that means the backbone, is having the flexibility that we can bend forward as well as we can bend backward. Right? See, that is why we can bend our back. We can bend just because the spine is very flexible. Right? The way we can move and we can bend our finger, same way backbone is allowing us to bend down. That is just because of its flexibility. Clear? Fine. Exercise and good posture help to maintain the flexibility of the backbone. Now you will see that many of the people are having the habit to stand like this. No. Good exercise and good posture, right? Like you have to stand straight. When you are sitting, don't sit like this. Sit properly and straight. So your bone will also remain straight for the longer time. If you are having this kind of a manner or this type of a habit, you will see that at later age, your backbone will be also bent like this. You may see many of the people that they are walking like this. They walk like this. Just because their backbone has bent. It's totally over. Right? So we have to take care of it. Why? Because it is very much responsible for giving us a good posture. And we can walk. Yes, it has a flexibility. But we don't need to forget that all 33 bones are working together. Clear? So that was the backbone. Now moving further to the next topic. What is that? Now kids, as we have completed the back portion of the chest area, now we are moving to the front portion of the chest area. That means the bones which is present in the front part, that means this portion, right? What is that? It is called as rib cage. You might be knowing the meaning of a cage. Cage means pinjru. Ribs, that means the combination of different bones, right, which is attached with each other. So rib cage, which is also known as chhati nu pinjru in Gujarat. It is also supportive as well as it is also giving a protection to some of the delicate organs present inside our body. Right? See, now we will start with that. The rib cage is made up of 12 pairs of bow-shaped bones. Now see, here also you can see the picture, but this is the main bone, right, of a rib cage, which is known as a sternum. It is known as what? Sternum. Right? And all these pairs, total pairs we have studied, that is 12 pairs. Right? How many total? 12 pairs, which is having bow shape. Right? That means from here to here, like a disc. These are total. How many pairs? 12. The middle bone through which these all are connected, that main bone is known as what? Sternum. And which type of organ they are protecting? They are protecting mainly, here I am writing, they are protecting heart and they are protecting lungs. We have one heart and two lungs on each side. Right? So, the rib cage is mainly protecting the two delicate and important organ, that is heart and lungs. Right? Now, you can see in the textbook. See, it protects the heart and the lungs. The first rib is the shortest and most curved. This first rib, right? This pair is known as what? Rib. Right? The first rib in the entire cage is the most shortest, means very small in size and most curved. Sauthi vadare curved છે. Right? So that is what? It is the first one, or you can say it is the first pair of the rib cage. Right? See, the rib cage has another long bone in the front called sternum. I told you. Right? I told you what is the meaning of a sternum. Sternum is the main middle bone in which all the pairs of ribs are attached in a disc shape. Right? In a round shape, or you can say in a curved shape. Clear? See. Sternum is also having some other name which is written in the bracket, that is breastbone. Right? Breastbone. That is the other name for the sternum. Right? See. The ribs are attached to the sternum in the front and to the backbone at the back. That means from the front side they are attached with this bone. What is the name of this bone? Yes, it is a sternum. But from the back side it is attached to whom? It is attached to backbone. It is attached to what? It is attached to backbone. Now, previously we have studied that there are total 12 pairs of ribs. Right? But there is a one difference. What is that? See, the last two pairs of ribs, however, are only attached to the backbone. They are not attached to the sternum. That means this way. From the backbone, they are attached. From the back side, they are attached to the backbone. But from the front, they are not attached here to the sternum. And so this last pair of rib is also known as floating rib. It is known as what? It is known as floating rib. But what is the reason why they are considered as floating rib? They are considered as floating rib because from the back side they are attached to the backbone, but from the front they are not attached to the sternum. Right? Here you just have to presume that they are attached to the backbone. Here they are not attached to the middle bone or main bone, or you can say sternum. So these pair of rib is considered as floating rib. Clear? Please underline this statement in your textbook. See, from here you will start. The last two pairs of ribs, however, are attached only to the backbone. That is why they are known as floating ribs. Please underline that statement. Right? So this was the rib cage. Again, I am taking a quick recap that it has 12 pairs of rib. From the back side, they are attached with the backbone, and from the front, it is attached with the one middle bone, which is known as a sternum. The first rib is the shortest one and most curved. They are protecting the two organs, two most delicate organs of our body, which is heart and lungs. Right? The last pair of rib is only attached to the backbone. It is not attached to the sternum, and because of that only they are known as floating rib. Understood? Right? So that was our second part of today's session. That was rib cage. Now we are moving further to the third portion. I hope you have understood till here. So before I start the third portion, just check once again that you have understood or not. Now the next portion is limbs. Now kids, we have understood this word, right, in animals and in their surroundings chapter. Limbs means what? There are two types of limbs. One is what? Forelimbs, right? And the second one is hind limbs. So if I say forelimbs means front legs, right? And if I say hind limbs means back legs. This word we have understood in the last chapter, right? Here front leg means, here in this chapter we are talking about human being. So we don't have front legs, but that front leg has been modified into hands. So here you will understand front legs means hands, right? And back legs means legs, of course. Clear? So now we are moving to this topic. See, there are two pairs of limbs in our body. Forelimbs, which is also known as a hand, or you can also see it as an arm, right? And hind limbs, that is the legs. Our arms and legs are made up of many bones. Yes, we have total 206 bones in adult body, right? So how these bones are categorized into different parts? We have seen skull, 22 bones. We have seen backbone, total 33 bones, right? Same way, rib cage, we have seen 12 rib pairs, right? Now we are moving to the next one, that is the arm bones, right? The bone which is present in the arm, that is from shoulder to elbow and from elbow to wrist, right? That is the way your arm is divided. Now see, the upper arm is made up of one bone called humerus. Underline this. Here in the picture also you can see the red portion is highlighted. That means that is the bone of the arm. That bone is what? What is the name of that bone? It is humerus. Right? Now see, the lower arm, this lower arm will be having two bones. What is the name? It is radius and ulna. Underline this. U, but it is not ulna, it is ulna. So, the bone which is present in the arm, which is known as humerus, and the bone which is present from elbow to wrist, that is two total bones, radius and ulna. Right? See, the thigh or upper part of the legs has the long bone called femur. If you remember in the hard word I told you that femur bone is the strongest and toughest bone of the entire body. Right? Why? Because it is carrying the entire load of your body. Load means weight of your body. Right? So it is considered as one of the strongest bone. So I hope you have understood the bones present in the arm and the hands. Now we are moving to the leg portion, the thigh portion. That means the portion from hip to your knee. Right? See, it is having the bone called femur. Please underline that. It is the longest bone in the body. It bears the whole weight of the body. Here in the picture also you can see that the red light, or you can say red color, is highlighting the femur bone, right, which is present in the thigh area, and it is taking the entire weight of your body on it, right. The part of the leg below the knee is made up of two bones, that is tibia and fibula. The way our hand is having two bones, that is radius and ulna. Same way, after knee, knee means gothani niche no bhag. It is also having two bones. What is the name of that bone? It is tibia and fibula. Right? That is the name of bones present below the knee. That is in our legs. Okay? Now, do you think the fingers are made of only one bone or many small bones? Can you say it? Right, this is a finger. If you want to band it, you can see there are three bones. Right, so all the fingers, it's not made up of only one bones. They are having three bones. You can count. Very small bones. Right, but the thumb, if you will band your thumb and you will count, you can see that there are total two bones. Right, so this is the difference between the finger bone and the thumb bone. Fingers are having three bones, where the thumb are having only two bones. Right, so that was a part of limbs. Now we are moving to the next, which is related to the limbs only. I hope you have understood till here. Now we are moving to the next portion, that is girdles. What is that? Girdles. Right? Now see, the girdles are what? It is a set of bones that form a semicircular structure to which other bones are joined. That means not full circle, semi means half circle. Kind of this, in which the other bones can join. Right? So this is known as what? This is known as girdles. Right? Where the shape of a girdle is a semicircular and in which the other bones can join. Right? See, there are two pairs of girdles in human body. When we are talking about ourselves, we have two pairs of girdles. Which is that? First one is pectoral. The first girdle is what? Pectoral. And the second one is pelvic. You have to learn the pronunciation of all these new words. There are two girdles present in the human body. The first one is pectoral and the second one is pelvic. Now where these are present, right, and how it is helping us? See, one pectoral girdle that forms the shoulder and other pelvic girdle that forms the hip. This girdle, right, when we will start the joints and type of joints, in which you will understand that how hands are attached to the shoulder, right? But right now you just need to remember that pectoral means the bones which are joined to the shoulder, and pelvic means, see kids, the way you can rotate your hand like this, same way you can also able to rotate your legs, because it has joined to some semicircular disc. What is that? It is a girdle, but where it is attached? It is attached to the pelvic girdle, which is what? Which part of the body? That is hip, this portion, back seat, right? Okay. See, the humerus bone is attached to the pectoral girdle. Now, can you tell me where the humerus bone is present? In legs or in hands? Yes, it is in hands, that is arm. So, this bone is known as humerus, which is attached to what? It is attached to shoulder. And shoulder is a semicircular. So, which is that girdle? Pectoral girdle. Then femur bone, where it is present? Legs, right? It is joined with what? It is joined with the hip, right? And which is that girdle? Pelvic girdle. Clear? See in your textbook. The humerus bone is attached to the pectoral girdle and the femur bone to the pelvic girdle. Underline this. The pelvic girdle also supports the upper body, right? When you want to sit, when you want to stand up, when you want to walk, which girdle is helping? Pelvic girdle, that is the hip portion, right? Are you clear till here? Now, turn the page. Bones are held together by a strong tissue called ligaments. Right? There are total 206 bones present in our body. But all these bones are joined with each other. How? There is a one tissue, right, which is helping these bones to join with each other. What is the name of that tissue? That is ligaments. About ligaments, we will study afterward. Right now, I hope you have understood till here. We have completed backbone, rib cage, limbs and girdles. Right? We have also seen the pictures of it. So I hope you are clear till here. So with this, I am ending my session. We will meet in the new session with new topic. But before I end my session, I will just advise you to read the topic which we have covered, and please go through this video again for any query. Right now, I am taking a leave. We'll meet next time. Bye bye.